Can It Candle? Welcome to the first episode of Can It Candle, a new series where I'll be making candles out of materials that perhaps should not be used for candle making. And at the end of the experiment, we'll be checking in with our real-life scientist, Todd, because just because something can candle doesn't necessarily mean it should. Let's get started. Today we'll be working with Babybel cheese wax. So it is made of wax. I'm assuming it will burn. I do not know quite how it will burn, but I think we're going to go ahead and make some pillar candles or some small like birthday candle type shapes, and then we're gonna melt some down to see if it will hold fragrance or not.
The wax coating on Babybel cheese is a mixture of paraffin, microcrystalline wax, and colorant.
All right, it's the moment of truth. We are going to light these and see if they can in fact candle. These were relatively easy to make and they did harden pretty nicely, so they're keeping their shape. The container candle actually took a lot longer than I was expecting to harden and solidify. It's still a little bit warm and it's been like over 45 minutes, but it is solid. It's still a little sticky, but I think we're ready to go and test it out. I'm gonna trim the wick to about 1/4 inch. And I'll give these guys just a little haircut as well. Twine is a bit sus at the minute. Well, we'll see how that goes. Here goes nothing. We're gonna start with the container candle, and it actually smells really, really good. Then the CD wick, the LX wick, and the twine is not looking great, but here goes nothing. Well, the twine was a bust. I just don't think it really had the structure, and because it was kind of raw, it wasn't dipped or primed in wax. That's not terribly surprising. Like something more of a butcher's twine may have worked a little better, I'm not sure. But just that stringy twine, not a great wick. The LX and the CD wicks are burning actually kind of nicely. There is an LX wick in that container candle as well, and these all have steady flames and pretty solid burns so far. I'm pretty impressed with this, actually. This was an interesting reaction. I'm a little disappointed that the twine burnt out so quickly, but I'm not very surprised by it. These candles are burning fairly quickly, but the container candle is still going strong, and it smells really nice. So at a 6% fragrance load, Babybel cheese wax is maybe not the worst, surprisingly. But that concludes the candle portion of this experiment, and to learn more about the science, we're gonna kick it to Todd in the lab.
So the reason that they're mixing paraffin and microcrystalline wax is obviously to give it a little bit of flexibility so that they can protect the cheese, but it also has this side effect of helping to hold fragrance. So paraffin stacks very nice and neatly and doesn't leave a lot of space in the crystal structure for fragrance to be held. Microcrystalline wax creates spaces in that crystal structure to allow for the fragrance to be held within it. This is how paraffin crystals stack up. And then if you add in microcrystalline, it's more like, and put in these weird shapes. And what that does is create space around them for the fragrance to live in these spaces. Paraffin wax is a hard and brittle material, breaks easily. Microcrystalline wax is a little different. It's a branched material, and it actually bends and has a little bit of stickiness to it, a little tackiness. A little, I guess. I mean, knowing what's in it, not so much, but just the fact that it held fragrance and burned pretty well. I thought it might smoke a bit at first, but it didn't. So, and frankly, I think you could have used bigger wicks in the little like birthday candle sized ones. That's why they leaked, is that the heat generated from the flame melted it and it ran down. In a birthday candle or a taper like a dinner candle, you're supposed to consume that liquid before it has the chance to drip down. So you need a big enough flame to do that. Can it candle? Yeah, it can.
And that concludes the first episode of Can It Candle? What should we try next? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.